Alright guys, so I want to do I've done this before, but anyway, my faders are feeling a little slow. So I want to do a how-to on cleaning your Rane 62 or whatever Rane you have faders. So anyway, this is mainly for the 62, but here's my first tip. And this is something I seen a long time ago on the internet. You know, sometimes it's really hard to get the knobs off of these damn things, but they don't come off. So what you need to do is get a shoestring, okay? Take the shoestring, wrap it around the fader here, the knob, just like this, okay? And all you're gonna do is just give it a nice gentle pull, and it'll come right up, okay? So that's for those fader knobs that are kind of a pain in the butt. If you just pull, kind of give it a little wiggle, the little suckers will come up. There you go, see? Otherwise, it'd be pretty impossible to get these things off. Just with your fingers, it's gonna hurt. So, anyway, I should probably turn this off. So, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that you're gonna need to take out here. And we're gonna do this all the way through, kind of press for time once again. So, of course, you know me, I always rush. I always do things at the wrong time. But anyway, so make sure you just put your screws in a spot where you're not going to lose them. And I'm going to show you the way that I've been cleaning my faders. Oh, sorry. I started up my turntable. Anyway, one more screw. Hopefully you guys didn't get dizzy. So anyway, now this little plate will come right off. Okay. So now you can see the crossfader and the volumes. There's 2 Phillips screws holding the fader in. So you're basically just going to take those and unscrew those. So one will come out. Usually I'll put them like here in the 45 adapter hole or something for your turntable. Kind of reach underneath here with your fingers to kind of hold it in place. Unscrew the other one so the fader doesn't fall. Put that in there, and then it's just going to come right out, okay? Just like that. So I haven't cleaned these things in, geez, probably almost half a year or so. They definitely need it. They're still pretty smooth, but I can just tell, you know. So underneath, you're going to have your connection here. So we're just going to kind of wiggle that, kind of pull it off there. Okay, so now we're going to take this, and like I said, this is live, so you're just going to come with me. We're going to take this, and we're going to take it to another room where we can take it apart. Okay. Let me see if I get a little more light here. I don't know how much more that's going to help. None of these freaking burnt out. Anyway, screw it. Let's go to the other room. Oops, let's see. Come on. There we go. That should give me more light. This phone does this. Let me move some of this stuff here. So anyway, I just pretty much got a plate here. So hopefully this isn't too bright. Maybe I can move that just a little bit over there. Alright. So I got a little rag here. Toothbrush, you're going to need that for later. So basically, when you're looking at the bottom of this fader here, you're going to have 4 screws. Oops. And those screws are basically holding the circuit board down to the fader itself. You know, these are the bars. This is everything. The way that this fader works, it is magnetic. So if you look inside here, you can see that little circle there. That's a magnet, and it works off of magnetic hall sensors. So when the hall sensor sees the magnet, you know, when it gets closer, it turns on, and away it turns off. So anyway, that's kind of how that works. So what we need to do is we need to take these 4 screws out. Okay, so there's one. And like I said, I'm just using kind of like a foam plate here to kind of hold this stuff in place. 2. Okay. 3. And this is the last one. 4. Okay, now from there, all you have to do is just separate it, just pull it straight up, and the circuit board comes away from the bars and the housing itself. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is actually pretty dirty. I guess you can kind of see that there's some buildup there, so we're going to clean that off too, but we'll do that later. So now you have pretty much just the bars and the fader stem and everything. So all you have to do from here is kind of wiggle this and it'll pull right out. See, and that's one housing. Then you have your little rubber washer there. It's a bumper. And then this, you just pull straight up. Okay? These bars will come right out. There's your other rubber washer. Okay, and these bars are fairly dirty, so we're gonna go clean them. So anyway, those are all the parts. Okay, so that's where this comes into play. So let's follow me. Where are we going, you might be asking? Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'll show you too. So we're going to the sink. And this is how I clean all of my products. So faders and whatnot. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take, there we go, let's see here. Can you see that? Okay, you can kind of see that, right? Okay, so we're gonna take these parts and we're going to clean them with a little bit of dish soap. And then we're just going to put a little stream of water here, just like this. And yeah, literally, this is how I clean all my faders. Okay, so we're going to wet the toothbrush here. Put a little soap on there, just like you're brushing your teeth. I would recommend using an old toothbrush, not your normal everyday toothbrush that you use. And then basically all we're going to do is we're going to clean these bars off, just like this. Okay, that's one clean. Where's that rag? We'll take all that stuff and we'll put it on this rag here. Okay, so that's going to be over here for now. You don't really need to see me put that on a rag. Then we're going to take this one. You can see how, you know, I'm just washing the bars, brushing them, getting all that gunk and crap off of them. Okay, clean that off, get all the soap off of there, and just like that. That one's clean. And you're going to take the main fader stem and its housing, and then you're just going to put some soap on there, kind of like that. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to clean out the inside here, try to get as much of that stuff and that dirt and stuff out of there. And these ones it's a little harder because it goes from there. But one of my buddies in the crew, the cut committee, my boy Charlie, actually had a good idea, and he was like, you can get some of those little toothpick brushes and use it to clean the inside, because one of the things that'll happen here that's kind of hard to get to it, and I wish I had one but I don't have any here. I'll actually show you some dirt. See those little black lines, those black rings? That's just dirt and buildup, and it's hard to get in there to clean that. So you actually have to find something that you can push through there to pull all that crap out of there. So those little toothpick brushes would be perfect for that, because they'll fit right in there, and you know, that stuff will come out. I unfortunately don't have one of those, So we're just gonna have to go with what we got here. And we're gonna clean all that off. Oh, clean all that off. Don't drop that in the sink. Try to use one of those plugs that you put in the sink so you don't lose anything. Okay. Maybe reaching down into the garbage disposal and you don't want to do that. Okay. So now that's clean. And you can take these little plastic housings that hold the bars. You can actually clean these off if you'd like. That's one. That's two. Okay. So now all of those are clean. So let's come over here. So you can see how I have everything just on this towel right here. So normally what I would do is I would let these kind of dry on their own, but since I'm kind of pressed for time, I'm just going to take a little rag here and I'm going to kind of help the drying process. And you can wipe these down with a clean rag, washcloth, you know, it's not going to scratch nothing up. So anyway, take all these parts, clean them out. Like I said, this is just like a real quick how-to, you know, because I know a lot of people still want to know how to open up their mixers and maintenance their faders and keep them nice and clean. You know, that's what we need to do if we want them to perform up to our standards. You know, we want our faders to stay smooth and clean. Well, this is the best way to do it. So I'm just drying off all these parts here. Taking this piece here, drying it off. Back in the day, what I used to do was I would actually get a what are they? Q-tips? Let's see. We'll see, sorry about that, we'll see how well a Q-tip does for this. I'm just going to break off one side, kind of like that, and then we're going to push it inside here. Let's see if we can get some of that black stuff out of there. Let's see if we can clean some of that out. This is why those little toothpick brush things, it would be ideal for this, because it would actually get in there and really clean that stuff out. So that was a fantastic idea that Charlie gave me, man. I definitely appreciate that idea, man, because I would have never thought of that. So let's see. I was thinking maybe like a pipe cleaner or something that would work too. But anyway, so we're gonna keep spinning this to see if we can get some more of that crap out of there. But yeah, a pipe cleaner would probably be a good idea, or once again, like I said, even the because those aren't gonna pop out, that little teeth cleaning brushes. So anyway, these are clean now, all clean, ready to go, aside from those little lines on the inside there, but that's okay. We'll deal with that later. Like I said, I just want to get this done as soon as possible because I'm expecting a call here soon. So let's take all this stuff back. Okay. Yeah. There you go. You guys can see that. Got all my parts. Got the rubber washers. When you take this thing apart, you know, don't freak out if you don't remember how you put it back together, because it's easy to put back together. So, I'm going to use one of these little Q-tips here to just kind of clean all this dust off of here. And when you're cleaning these, you know, you really want to be careful, especially when you get around these Hall sensors. You don't want to bend them, because then It'll mess up your cut in time if you bend them way too far, or if you bend them too close, or if you just bend them in general. You know, there's a chance of breaking them, and you definitely don't want to do that. So anyway, now that's clean. You can kind of see all that gunk that was on there. It's cleaned off now, so that's good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our bars, we're going to actually stick them back in here, okay? If you look at the bottom of these plastic housings here, you're going to see, hopefully you're going to see, you'll see 2 holes on the bottom, 1 hole on the top. So that's your top piece. That's actually the one that's going to go up, okay? So now from there, you're going to take 1 rubber O-ring, you're going to put it here like this, and then you're going to take, the O-rings go on the same side as the thick side. So you can see there's 2 sides to this. There's the thick side and then the thinner side. This is going to go to the thick side. So it's just going to go right over the top, just like this, and you're going to slide it right through. Boom. Okay? Then you're going to take that other O-ring and you're going to put it through just like this. Okay? From there, you're going to take the other plastic housing. Remember, the 2 holes go to the bottom. Those are actually going to go like that. See? And already, you know, pretty smooth. Okay? So if you forget how you took this off of this circuit board, the cool thing that Rane has done is they actually put a outline of how the fader should go back on there. So if you're looking at this, you're looking at this, it's pretty much the same design. Okay, so that's your fader stem, that's your fader stem up here like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to match this up like that. See how it matches up? Okay, and then we're just going to put it just like this. Boom. And then it's back together. Okay, so now we're going to flip it around, kind of hold it so it doesn't fall apart. And then you're going to take your 4 screws here, just like that. And then you're going to start screwing them in. Now you want to be, you know, somewhat careful when you're doing this because these screws are metal and the metal is screwing into plastic. So you want to be real careful when you're screwing these in. Make sure that you don't cross thread or anything like that, because if you do cross thread it, you know, like I said, it's plastic and you don't want to do that. You'll damage it, and I don't know how easy it is to get a hold of Rane support anymore, being that they've gotten sold. So those 2 are in. Now we're going to take these other 2 screws. That one is in. The heck is that? Tape? Okay. Screw this one in. That one is in. And now our fader is back together. Okay? So, we could stop there if we wanted to, but we don't want to stop there because we want our faders to be as smooth as possible. So, here comes the secret ingredient. This is how I make all my faders smooth. There's a whole bunch of different types of lubricants that you can use, but I've been using this type of lubricant since the early 2000s. So shout out to DJ Mastermind on that one for raiding his dad's gun collection, and we found this gun oil. It's an Outers gun oil. It's a lube oil. It's not an aerosol. So you basically, what you're going to do is you're going to take this, open it up, and I don't spray it on there. I actually take it here, and then I take the little straw out, okay? And then what I do is I put just a little bit on one bar, and then just a little bit on the other bar, just like that, and like that, okay? And then I work it back and forth, just like that, okay? Now, look at that. Nice. And the cool thing about the gun oil is, you know, when it heats up, it actually gets smoother because, you know, it's gun oil. It's meant to, you know, clean and keep a gun going. So the heat and the friction, it actually, like I said, it actually gets smoother. So that's basically how you're going to clean one of those faders, you know, for a Rane 62, or even if you're on the old 57, it's pretty much the same deal, just a little different connection on the bottom. But yeah, so once we do that, we can bring it back to the mixer. So now we're going to take this plug again. It can only go in one way, so don't force anything. See, so it's not going to go in that way, right? Because that's the wrong way. You can see that there's that gap there, the hole. It's actually form fitted, so you're going to put it in just like that, and it'll just snap right back in. Very little force. You don't have to force anything. Don't ever force anything. Okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this, just kind of reach underneath again, like that. The cool thing about the design that they did with the 62 is they actually made this all open. Back on the old 57s, it was kind of closed off like this, and it was kind of hard to get your fingers in there. So they kind of learned from that design flaw, and they made it a little bit more easy, especially for guys like me with thicker hands. Okay, so once again, all we're going to do is put the screw back in, and we're going to screw it in. But I think I forgot my freaking screwdriver. So give me a sec, sorry. Alright, sorry about that. So let's get this back in there. Once again, reach it under. We're going to just match up the holes here, so hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing here. And then we're going to put the screw in, and once again, like I said, you know, it's metal going into plastic, so these ones tend to be really tight, so you really got to be careful when you're screwing these back in, because once again, like I said, you don't want to cross thread or anything like that. Don't force it. Okay. And what you could do is you could actually take the other one here, put that screw in, and see how you don't have to force it. It'll just go on its own. Okay. Like this one, it's kind of not cooperating, so we're going to take it, unscrew it, and we'll screw it back in. Okay. Boom. And that fader's back in there. So let's do the test. Let's see how smooth this is. This is how I test my faders. So there you go. That's what we want. Nice and smooth. Yep. So let's let that gun oil work in, and you'll be good to go. Then you're basically going to do the same thing, the same process with the other faders, the volumes. And then once you're done with that, you're going to put the plate back on, just replace the screws, and bam, you're back to cutting and mixing. But your faders are going to be smooth and awesome. So hopefully that helps you guys out. And if you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, that's it for now. Peace.